about now? Hello. Today I'm going to be talking about the Alchemist oil and why I created it, what I was dealing with when I created it. I'm going to place it below on TikTok for those of you who are here on my TikTok live. I'm going to pin the Alchemist oil right about now. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. I'm up in the Alchemist oil, wild yam butter, and the restoration bundle all together. It should be visible now on the screen at the bottom of the screen. Where is it? Let me do that again. I don't see it. Can I pin it? There we go. It's there. Okay, I just pinned it. All right. Hello. I am Goddess Just Be. And today we're going to be talking about why I created the Alchemist oil. What I was going through in that particular moment of my life when I created the Alchemist oil. If you do not know what the Alchemist oil is, it's the world's most powerful antioxidant, antifungal, antiparasitic, antiviral, antimicrobial, antibiotic, anti-inflammatory. And so to use it, you place a carrier oil. This one here will be the carrier oil if you get the bundle. I have it linked below, or I have it tagged if you're in the red triangle place. But this will be the carrier oil. And this here, blue bottle, glass premium bottle, is the Alchemist oil itself. You place 1 drop of the Alchemist oil diluted with a carrier oil, half a teaspoon of the carrier oil in the palm of your hand. You mix them together and you place it in your navel before bed. This is going to be likened to oil pulling. This is going to be likened to how you oil pull in your mouth and you're trying to draw bacteria and toxins forward. Well, it's the same process with your navel. But the navel is the reset button. The navel is the entryway to abdominal cavity. The navel is a place where your body knows and remembers, and you'll be placing herbs for oil pulling inside of your navel with oils, right? So why did I create this? What was I thinking? What place or state of being I was in when I created the Alchemist oil? Well, that was maybe 15 years ago, at least 15 years ago, when I created this particular Alchemist oil to save a life. And that was the life of myself. That's the first life that I saved, y'all. Mine. And during this time, I had thyroid issues. And so that's why in my spiel all the time, I talk to people who have hypo or hyperthyroid issues. And I tell them all the time, Tut, I ain't being ugly, but you just toxic. Hey, Ruth, thank you for passing through. Hey, Key, I see y'all. Hey, Twan, thank you for passing through. So I'll tell those type of people that, have those so-called labels that you are toxic. The first thing is to release some of the toxins from the body before you go downing this and downing that. Yes, it's good to get your nourishment, but guess what? You really wasn't depleted in iron and magnesium. Those are the 2 things that the critters would normally take first, right? You wasn't depleted. You was getting it. It was just that the critters was eating it before you, so to speak, right? And so with that being known, that critters come inside and try to take over and become the host inside of you, first things first is going to be pulling the critters out before you go consuming. Because most of the often when we try to consume all kind of stuff, we already be full of crap. The elimination pathways be clogged up. So you got to unclog some things first. And so this is the process. This is why I started using the Alchemist oil, because I wanted to unclog some things. I knew. Nobody don't have to tell you when you full of crap. You know when you full of crap. You know when you can't breathe. You know when you about to pass out because you was walking upstairs. You know when you ain't used the bathroom in 3 to 4 days, because you know what being full of really feel like when you toxic. So this is why, or rather what I was going through during that time that I created the Alchemist oil. And so when you're really, really toxic and you've been toxic for so long, then what happens is your hormones get out of balance, right? So the wild yam butter, and you'll see below as the restoration bundle, is a creation of mine too, because hormonally I was out of whack. When you can't sleep at night, when you losing, can't lose weight because you're overeating, overindulging, addicted to hormone disruptors like chicken and water in plastic bottles that probably was sitting outside for who knows how long in the sun, canned foods, all of these little mimickers that mimic estrogen that we consume, when you're toxic, you actually energetically drawn to those types of foods, right? And you're just downing more and more and more and disrupting your hormones more and more and more. And so during this time, I didn't know nothing about eating right for no blood type. I didn't know nothing about no highly beneficial fruits, herbs, nuts, seeds, vegetables, and none of that stuff, right? I was full of crap, and I loved being full of crap at that time, not knowing the things that I was eating, and not just eating, consuming energetically, spiritually, my thoughts was waste. It was low frequency. So here I am in a place of my journey where I'm getting tired of going to the back and forth to see the person with the white coat. This is my story, y'all. This is my reason why I created this and what I was going through at the time. I was getting or becoming so fatigued in the physical reality that I would get up and go to work. This was my schedule. Monday through Friday, get up and go to work. After I go to work, if I didn't call in. After I went to work, I was so out of breath and couldn't speak. Because when you have thyroid issues, it's like so much adrenaline. It's like so much of fatigue. Like talking seemed like it was too much. So I, in physical reality, can understand people who be having that resting bee kind of face when they really sick. Because that's once upon a time where I was. And so I got off of work, and I used to rush to get into the garage so that I didn't have to talk to nobody, because I didn't have no more talk in me. Because my duty when I got up in that garage was to take them clothes off, go up in there and make them children something to eat, which wasn't going to be healthy. It was going to be really, really quick because I didn't know nothing about health and wellness at the time. Make them something really delicious, quick to eat. Help them with their homework, take a bath, and carry my eggs to bed. That's all I had. That was my Monday through Friday. And then my Saturday and Sunday was sleeping till like maybe 2, 3, 4 in the evening, trying to wash, trying to prepare for the next week. I spent a considerable time in my life rinsing and repeating in that loop, not knowing nothing about healthy thoughts, not knowing nothing about energy, frequency, and vibration. Because when you're in the loop, you don't know you're in the damn loop. When you're full of shit, you don't really understand how full of it you really are. So that was my reason why. I had 2 reasons why I wanted to change that system. And that was my children. When my husband would come home during the week, I would be so relieved because I had no more. I had no more in me. No more to give. Thank you for trusting the Alchemist off. And so one night rather, I just felt like so weak that I felt like I was going to be unalived, right? Like I can't have much time here, right? So I would begin a new loop of telling my children, look, you need to look out for your brother. You need to look out for each other. And I want y'all to stick together and love each other. I was almost saying goodbye every night, like, right? Because of how fatigued I was, and because of how many times I was trying to figure out what is wrong with me. Why do I cope giving me this and this and this and this and this, and nothing is really working for me? And so one day, I realized that I had energy enough to do something different. I had gotten tired. That's why I tell y'all all the time, being tired is that frequency that nobody don't be talking about. But it take you getting sick and tired of being sick and tired. I just felt tired of being fatigued. I didn't know nothing about health and wellness. And when I would wake up in the morning surprised that I was still in the physical reality, I'd be like, okay, I have another day. So I'm going to do something different today. I'm going to eat something green. That was it. I was like, the people with the white coat, they never asked me what I was eating. I got tired of going to see them. So I said, okay, I'm going to just try to eat something green. And that something green ended up to be, kale and nasty ass kale, just whatever was nasty. I started including all of the nasty stuff in my diet, just making myself eat it, right? I would start researching herbs. And the ones that really, really, really were highly beneficial to me today, I sell. There's one up here. If you call me back up here, I can't say that while I have these things pinned, but there's one included in up here called Sustained Detox. I will go on Sustained Detox because I was full of right? That one is a herbal blend. And I would do sustained detox for like 30 days and just take a little break and then do it again. And this was really beginning to be the only way that I would release. That was the only thing that would help me go to the bathroom, sustained detox. And so sustained detox and my Alchemist oil carried me through those moments, right? The Alchemist oil, I will use it internally and externally. I will put the Alchemist oil on my stomach. I'll put it on my neck. I'll put it on the soles of my feet. Sometimes I needed it just to go to bed. I was so full of crap. I was so fatigued. I had so much anxiety. I was so tense that I needed something on my skin, on my belly, to just stop the bloating, stop the rumbling. Right? So before I came to TikTok, before I began on my website, these were things that I was using. And after I used them for so much of a duration, taking breaks. That's why I even teach to this day. Do 7 to 10 days on, take 2 days off, because you got to feel yourself. I was getting to know myself. And so after a while of consuming this sustain and alternating with the Alchemist oil, my vision improved. My clarity returned. I will go to sleep and wake up in rhythm with the circadian rhythm in this land. I was no longer full of crap. My hair began to grow. My skin became to clear. Being fatigued and in pain all the time is a thing of the past. I don't have to go to see the person with the white coat for every little thing, because there is no little thing. Right? So my reason why was initially because of my boys. I felt like they really did deserve a mom that would fight to figure out what was going on. And then when I felt so much the energy from food, that's why I have highly beneficial food lists and weight loss cheat codes, because I was getting to know myself. Then when I begin to get the energy and all, I begin to say, man, before my boys leave this house, I got to teach them. So I begin to teach them colorful foods that were highly beneficial for their blood type too. That's where all of this stems from. And so I begin to get the reputation as being the nurse of the family, right? Oh, Lord, here she come. And during this time, Mr. Dr. Sabi, he wasn't as known just yet. But some people will call me Mr. Sabi. It's equivalent to Dr. Sabi. And I researched him one day, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I like what he's doing. We do have the same or share the same passion. But with my journey, what I really was doing, I was just listening to what my inner being would teach me. I was listening to my internal GPS system that never steered me wrong. And during that time, that was during the time actually when I began to write this book behind me. And this book behind me is all of the herbs. Oh my God, the memory of that is just I just sparked an emotion. In this book, there's a chapter in this book called Live Food Healed. And that was me on my journey of getting to know myself. I would go to Asian markets. I just wanted to do everything different. I stopped going to Walmart. That's why when I always talk about Walmart being like Wally World, like I don't go there for like my food, like my herbs and stuff. Like I'll go there maybe for some toilet tissue. It's batteries, right? But I began to go to the little Mexican places, the little ideals, the little Hong Kong markets, the little gardens, farmers markets. Not just for the herbs, but I began on that journey to, oh my God, I didn't know this was going to be an emotional thing. I began on my journey to go there to sell my book too, so my story could get out to people. And I was at a gardening center. Oh my God, baby, when you look back over your life, you see how it's such a beautiful love story. I was at a garden center to go give me some oregano. The Alchemist oil was being created during this time. And y'all, there was this man there. He was a shaman. My guru, he no longer is in the physical reality, but he lives, he's here right now. Anyway, I was walking, y'all. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was in New Orleans, Louisiana, off of Chapatulas. They have a little gardening center right there by that Walmart. He worked there. I parked my car to get out. And you know, when you're walking on rocks, you hear, right? You hear your footsteps walking on rocks. I was in that parking lot walking to go see what that nursery had, what kind of plants that they had, because I was on my journey. And it is my promise to you that I did not hear his feet making any noise from these rocks, right? It was like that man just like was appeared right before me, smiling in front of me, and he scared me. And I was like, where you came from? Who are you? And he laughed. He laughed. He walked me around that garden center and he gave me his card. He said, you should come to my house. I have a garden. I have a garden. I want you to come see it. And I'm thinking to myself, why do I feel so comfortable? Why do I want to come to your house? Like, it's kind of different. Don't you think that's kind of like a different thing? Like, you know, like, it's different for me being an introvert to kind of like want to go to somebody's house who you just met to go see their garden. But I felt like I had to go. And I followed that path. I followed how I felt. I didn't know who he was that day, but it was something about that man when I met him. It was like the heavens opened up and just dropped him right here in front of me. And I'm like, where did you come from? Who are you? Nonetheless, that was my guru. I didn't even throw that in the story, but shoot, I went down memory lane and he popped up. My guru. And he would tell me how proud he was of me to meet me because he knew that I'll be here. He knew, and this was time now. I'm still in the stage where I'm really just figuring stuff out, right? He knew this me. And I never understood what that man said. He would talk about this here moment way back then, and I never knew that man was talking about. So anyway, before my eyes start sweating, that's why I created the Alchemist oil to save a life. Mine. Mine. And that's why I come here every day to help you on your journey, like my guru once upon a time helps me. Because I know it works. I know that it helps me on my journey, and I want it to be a blessing to you. I did not come here for this, y'all. I am so sorry. But let's get into it. The Alchemist oil. The world's most powerful antioxidant, antifungal, antiparasitic, antiviral, antimicrobial, antibiotic, anti-inflammatory. And this is how you use it. This is what I suggest because it really deeply penetrates inside of your person via the navel, which is that reset button on your body, right? So this is a carrier oil right here. What I would suggest, you can place it anywhere on your body from head to toe. You know, your skin is the largest organ on your body. What you put on your skin penetrates inside of it. So I would suggest a half a teaspoon of the Alchemist oil, carrier oil rather, in the palm of your hand. And so the Alchemist oil is going to be the one in the glass bottle. You only need one drop going in the navel. One drop. Count it with me. One. Now, if you have pain, like, you know, like thyroid issues, like I was talking about with me, I used to have thyroid issues, but I don't have that issue anymore. you have thyroid issues like fatigue, you have arthritis, you have neuropathy, you have any muscles tension, or you trying to regulate your nervous system and you're not, and you're wanting to place it on that particular part of your body, like your hand locked up, your back or your shoulder, well, you could do 3 drops at that point, right? But when you're placing it in your navel, you only want to put 1 drop because the navel is really delicate. The navel is really sensitive. You have these critters inside the navel who you're unaliving at the same time. So you want to start off with 1 drop inside the navel. So 1 drop of the Alchemist oil, this is going to be the blue bottle, diluted with the carrier oil, half a teaspoon of the carrier oil. You mix that sucker up in your hand and place it in your navel before bed. You place it on your shoulder if your shoulder have tension, if you have parasites on your neck. They thrive in rest on the spine, whether it be the top of the spine or the lower spine. That's why a lot of people be having stiff necks and the big humps in the back of their necks. So you can place it on your shoulder, you place it on your neck, you place it on your navel, you place it on the arch of your feet, you can place it on your right side of your chest, by your gallbladder duct, aka your liver area, because the liver is how you live, and you could get circulation going there. You can place it underneath your armpit, right? Because the navel and the armpit is really like entryways inside of the abdominal cavity. I have a jumpsuit on, so today I'm not going to be able to place it in my navel because I can't enter into the jumpsuit. You can place it on the skull, your scalp rather, and if you have things like alopecia, which is a biofilm, that's why the people's hair no longer grows through the biofilm. It's actually fungus, and so the critters create this biofilm, and it's hard for the hair follicles to come out. So if you place the Alchemist oil on the scalp, on parts of the scalp, then it'll be and begin to work as an antifungal. Its antifungal properties will begin to work for you. So if you think about viruses and you think about parasites, viruses and parasites, they have this lipid coating around them called a biofilm. I just came. Why were you crying? I got emotional about a story. I was telling why I created the Alchemist oil, and I started thinking about my guru who I met before I created it. But nonetheless, the viruses and the parasites, they have this lipid coating, this biofilm, right? And the biofilm is what protects the critter. Right? This is why the person with the white coat give you a rock to swallow and it don't penetrate. And he or she will tell you, the virus got to run its course. It's not running its course. It's multiplying in the person. But oils can penetrate through this biofilm. Hence the Alchemist oil bundle that I'm teaching you about. And so the oil, whether you are doing internally or externally, when it penetrates past this biofilm, whether you're putting it on your head or your knee or your stomach where the critters are or wherever, once it penetrates, it bursts open this biofilm, this protecting shield that the parasite or the virus have, and now the parasite or virus is exposed. What is it exposed to now? It's exposed to the properties. Remember, I shared with you, it's antifungal, anti-parasitic, antiviral, antimicrobial, antibiotic, anti-inflammatory. And so now the critter is out. Plus you have omega-3s, hence you have the proper oils to lubricate you to get the critter to be expelled out the back door. I'm sharing this here with you all as it pertains to you using it to oil pull, via your navel. But don't panic. The Alchemist oil is organic. It's a clean product. It is a clean product, right? So, usage, 7 days on, up to 10. 7 days off. Thank you for trusting the Alchemist oil. I forgot to hit my button. I saw a bunch of y'all looking at it. 7 days on, 2 days off. 7-2, 7-2, up to 10 days. Remember, I shared with you my story about me, how I was rotating, kind of like Sustained Detox, Alchemist oil. Sustained Detox, Alchemist oil. Reversing my need for glasses. I'm sitting here looking at white letters. Used to wear glasses. No longer. Hey, Keisha. I see you all. Thank you for patience, babe. Looking at white letters, right? Because here's the thing. When your transverse colon cannot absorb minerals, you can't absorb light right here. Because this here brain is connecting you to the upper. As within, so without. As above, so below. Everything is connected. And so it brought back the clarity that I remember, my ability to focus, This is also tied to your ability to manifest, because your attention span, our attention span and ability to focus is limited when we have critters knowing on us, when we're full of crap, when we're irritable, when we're at a low frequency, right? To regain the remembrance of yourself, or your AKA throne, because you're God in your simulated environment. To regain that, you must turn your house, your temple, back into the house of prayer, meditation, peace, regulated nervous system. You must avoid your house, your body, your temple, from becoming a den of thieves, aka parasites sucking on you, negative thoughts, you entertaining negative energies, you being hard on your little girl or little boy person, you having a crappy self-concept, all of those things right there. That is the real critter. That is the way the real critter, aka parasite, manifests in the physical reality. Because our mind, because we're God in physical form. Right? In this physical reality, everybody is God in their own you. You got one, I got one, universe. And if you are a God with a mind, in the beginning was the word. The word is expression of thought. Your thought that's in your mind, whether you make it negative or positive, it manifests. So we manifest based upon our guilt, our dis-ease and disharmony. First, spiritually. Everything in this realm started spiritually first, and then it hardened. So that's how the parasite get in the people's body, because spiritually, the people felt guilt, felt shame, felt unlovable, felt dis-ease first before they saw dis-ease in here. So in order to reverse that, we must practice alchemy. Hence, I call this the Alchemist oil. Pure alchemy in a bottle, just like you in the Matrix. I'm sure you heard me say that before. So that is how you use it. I am the creator of the Alchemist oil. I would highly suggest that you go to 7 to 10 days using it, and not just do it one day, because critters in the physical reality will get upset, so to speak, if you take away their cousins, right? You're unaliving when you do this parasites. Thank you for trusting the Alchemist oil. So if you're going to unalive them, they're going to want to multiply. They're going to want to square up inside of you. And how they square up and multiply inside of you is they spit, do a number 2, secrete, or lay some more eggs. The Alchemist oil is highly beneficial for all 3 stages of the critters, though, because it knocks out eggs, larvae, and the adult critters. You do not want to play around with anything that's supposed to be anti-parasitic, and it cannot bind to that lipid biofilm that I'm sharing with you. It cannot get past or get rid of phase 1, which is eggs, phase 2, which is larvae, and phase 3, which is adult critters. Because if you miss one of those stages, you're going to be in trouble. And I'm talking about the type of trouble that you look regular this month, and then next month when all your friends see you, you look like, because that means they multiply inside of you, right? Let me go to the bottom and make sure I'm not missing any comments and questions. Thank you for trusting the Alchemist. Oh, do you have any questions before I move on? Any questions? Y'all listening? Y'all heard my little story? So why are you crying? That's the only comment I see. Okay, so let's move on. I want to share with you all what you're going to see. What you're going to see if you're a looker backer. Because yes, I'm talking shh. Yes, I'm talking about you releasing. So think to yourself, when you go to the restroom to do a number 2, are you a looker backer, or are you somebody that's bullshit who just flush, wipe, and get up out of there? You don't want to see nothing. Hey, Andrea. I see you, babe. Thank you for passing through. Hey, Liz. So, if you are a looker backer, you're going to see those 3 phases that I'm talking about. The eggs, the larvae, the adult parasites. Because they got to come out in physical form. And that's really assurance to let you know that you're really doing something right with this Alchemist oil here. Right? Let me go to the bottom and make sure I'm not missing any comments and questions. Thank you for trusting the Alchemist oil. Do you have any questions before I move on? Any questions? Y'all listening? Y'all heard my little story? So why are you crying? That's the only comment I see. Okay, so let's move on. I want to share with you all what you're going to see. What you're going to see if you're a looker backer. Because yes, I'm talking about you releasing. So think to yourself, when you go to the restroom to do a number 2, are you a looker backer, or are you somebody that's bullshit who just flush, wipe, and get up out of there? You don't want to see nothing. Number one, let's say yesterday you use the Alchemist oil, you place it inside of your navel before you went to bed. You had the best night of sleep. It calmed you, soothed you, you didn't teeth grind. Teeth grinding is a sign that you have a parasitic infection. Booty clenching in the middle of the night, parasitic infection. If you're feeling something squiggly like this here in your booty cheeks, parasitic infection, right? When you have rosacea, worms are pretty much the eggs sitting on the cheeks with inflammation, red circles around it, that's parasitic. When you have these little hard bumps right here on your arms, this is normally a real good telltale sign to feel somebody on right there, and that'll let you know parasitic infection. And of course, if you have cats and dogs in your home, you may be exposed to their worms because you have to deworm them, and these things are microscopic. It don't matter. Parasites don't discriminate. I ain't talking about your pet or dog. I know we love our animals, but I also want to let you know, vegans, when vegans eat, even if you eat lettuce all day, you're getting lettuce from the soil. The soil ain't nothing but manure. So guess what? There's waste everywhere. That apple, the parasite love the apple just as much as a parasite love the ass of a horse, right? You can see these gnats in the physical reality. You can see these bugs. You can see these critters. And they're everywhere, right? In the physical reality. So just so you know, I'm not teaching you all to be no daggone vegan. I'm just teaching you how to recognize when your load is so heavy with virus, when your load is so heavy with inflammation, or when your load is heavy with parasites, your body is going to feel fatigued. You're not going to be able to regulate no nervous system. You're not going to be able to get no peaceful night's sleep, right? So ask yourself if you're a looker backer when you're on the throne. Do I look back at it? Because we about to talk. Somebody type in the comments, TMI. That means get up out of here because I'm uploading this to my YouTube channel, whether you hear or not. And I got to tell the people on the red triangle place what to expect. If you look at the orange shopping cart below here on TikTok, you will see reviews from people who look back at it, who got good nice sleep, who talk about how powerful the Alchemist oil is, who expel some weights, right? Just to be tactful with my words. And we're talking about the Alchemist oil itself. But if you're a looker back and you place the Alchemist oil on your navel and you regulate your nervous system and you felt really good and your anxiety and insomnia was a thing of the past last night, it's the next morning, you're up and you're refreshed. You take some water and drink, and immediately you have to go to the restroom. You're on the commode. You said you were a looker backer, so you look back at it. And here's your turn. Here's your turn. Yes, I'm talking shh if you're new to my life. If you just passing here, yeah, we talking shh. And so your turn is brown, and there's little specks inside of it. And these specks look either ivory or black. Ivory and black specks inside of the stool. And you're sitting there thinking to yourself, I did not eat sesame seeds. Sesame seeds are the seeds on top of the McDonald's burger bun. I didn't have McDonald's today because I don't know. I don't know if that's what. Horse meat. What kind of meat is that over there? I don't mess with them people. And I know the meats that I should be eating based upon my blood type because I went over here and I called Goddess Just Be Back. She got weight loss cheat codes, highly beneficial meal plans. That means my herbs, my spices, my fruits, my nuts, my seeds, my vegetables. She got it all laid out. I know. I'm getting to know myself. So why is there specks inside of my stool? I did not eat sesame seeds. Those are not specks. Those are not sesame seeds from the McDonald's burger bun. Those are the eggs that I'm talking about. And that's an indication that last night when you placed the Alchemist oil on top of your navel, that you unalived some of the eggs. And this is why I tell you all, don't stop at day one. Go at least 7 to 10 days. Because we want to not only get the eggs, we want to go a little bit deeper and get some of that larva out of there. The larva is the stuff that make people stink. The larva is the reason why people be walking around smelling like onions and odors underneath their armpit. The larva is really, really mucus-filled, almost like pus. We call it secretion, but it's like pus, right? So which leads us to number 2. A couple of more days pass and you're still doing the Alchemist oil on the navel. 1 drop of the Alchemist oil diluted with the carrier oil. You're doing it right before bed on the navel. And maybe it's 3 or 4 days now that you've been doing it. Now you're getting down, you're getting deeper and deeper because you're getting deeper into the cellular level of it. You're getting deeper into the stages of it, and you want to get deeper. Yeah, you do. And so now one morning you wake up and now this here lava secretion, it looks like mashed potato consistency. It's not a whole bowel movement. It comes out sounding like that. The consistency is like mashed potatoes. This is the stuff that make people funky. This is the reason why people will put an antiperspirant so they don't sweat, because they know that they sweat is so grotesque. It's going to knock out their boss and everybody in the office. This is why they can't wear simple deodorant, to allow themselves to sweat and secrete like a normal person. This is why that they're on the pig level of keeping their toxins inside, because only a pig hold all of their toxins inside and never expel it out. This is why they use pigs in the Gulf to clean fields for Gulf fields. They'll send pigs out there to clean the land first. You, my darling, are not a pig. You're God in physical form. And how dare you turn your body into a den of thieves when it was supposed to be the house of prayer. But nonetheless, you are the alchemist, and you can come from that state of being, because God is all of these frequencies. But don't sit in the grotesque frequency all the days of your life. Don't stay there too long. But nonetheless, you'll look back and you see this mushy mashed potato consistency in the toilet. You so mushy that you know you're going to have to clean the commode at this point. You know that. And the kicker is that it's so funky that it makes you want to gag in the commode, in the bathroom. Make you kind of want to throw up. This is the same type of funk that Dr. Sebi was talking about when he would take his people to his center, right? This is the same type of funk that's inside of these protruding bellies and these big backs that people were talking about. I got a big back and I'm just going to be a big back forever. So you're saying you're going to keep the larva inside of you. So you're saying you can't control what you put in your mouth. If you can't control what you put in your mouth, then another part of yourself is showing up. You can't control something else in some other area of your life. Is it your love life too? Is it your financial life too? Because as it pertains to wholeness, if you cannot control what you put in your mouth, then you are out of control kind of dog. Thank you for trusting the Alchemist oil. So this secretion, this has to come out. So it comes out. It's not diarrhea. It's just mashed potato consistency, and it's funky. You'll know it by its stench, but better out than in it. And once you get down to this cellular level and get this funk up out of there, you'll realize you don't even have to wear deodorant. I ain't talking antiperspirant. You could come down from antiperspirant to deodorant on this, but there's another level. You could come from deodorant to not even wear deodorant at all. Because here's the kicker. You're God. You're not supposed to be full of shh. You're God in physical form. You are not supposed to stink. Your shh ain't even supposed to stink. It stink when you have a colony of critters up in that abdominal cavity. You have a friend that work at a morgue, ask them. They'll tell you the people who they open up that are unalived. They open up that abdominal cavity, and then people full of yeast. People was fighting fungus, parasites all their life, and then they suffocated it with it. In here, the abdominal cavity, right up in here. So, next one, number 3. We talked about the eggs. That was us just talking about the larva. Number 3, this is the final stage. You still using the Alchemist oil. You're placing the Alchemist oil inside of your navel. Have a teaspoon of the carrier oil, 1 drop of the Alchemist oil inside the navel before bed. Calming you, soothing you, deep tissue massage, relaxing you, good quality of sleep. Now maybe it's like a week. You'll look back up. You have to do a number 2 again. And maybe this time the number 2 is whole. It could sometimes be whole. It could sometimes be scattered. But it's not really diarrhea. But you look back and you saw red tears inside of your bowel movement now at this point. You know what an adult parasite look like. We're talking about the adult worms now. You know what a hookworm already look like. You know, pinworm, tapeworm. Sometimes these come out at the back door, number 2. While you number 2ing, right? But sometimes it ain't just a long worm is what I'm trying to educate you on this here number 3 phase of these critters. Sometimes it's red tears that look like tomatoes or red tears that look like red bell pepper skins, because those red tears aren't really bell pepper or tomatoes. You shouldn't be fooling with tomatoes anyway, because tomatoes are nightshades, and nightshades cause inflammation. And you will know that if you have your highly beneficial meal plan up here by your blood type, honoring your mother and father so your days can be long on the land, meaning honoring your bloodline, your real family. In the biblical text, we talked about bloodlines throughout it. There's nothing new underneath the sun. It's all coded. Nothing new. We just supposed to be getting to know ourselves. With the code, the frequency, all things being energy, frequency, and vibration, that ain't gonna never change. But nonetheless, now you look back or you look at this red stuff and you wonder what these little red tears are in the stool. Or if they're just floating around in the water. Sometimes they're red, sometimes they're green. Those are flukes. Those are not tomatoes. Those are not red bell pepper skin. Flukes look like chopped up seasoning. And a chopped up seasoning being in the water, just floating around. They came out of the system. And they are in the category of adult parasites. So we have the eggs, we have the larvae, and we have the adult critters. And those are the things that be trying to come into the person and take the person's life force, take the person's energy away. Right? Those are the things that really make the person low in magnesium. It's so weird that when you're dealing with people who are not so well, they're on a lower frequency. When you're dealing with these people, they have one of the two. My person with the white coat told me I'm low in magnesium. My person with the white coat told me I'm low in iron. Iron and magnesium. Parasites love those two. That's another sign when you have a parasitic invasion going on. But the person with the white coat don't talk about these type of things. Person with the white coat don't be asking people what they're eating, because just like I was sharing with you in the beginning, they never asked me that. I stumbled upon that because I began to ask myself, why am I always sick? Why? Why do I have anemia? Why am I anemic? Why do I have thyroid issues? Why can't I lose weight? Why am I always tired? Why do I always get the common cold or whatever? Why do I have sinus issues? Why is my hair thinning? Why? And God never asks himself a question that he or she don't already know the answer to. But God got to get real sick and tired of being sick and tired to let the answer unfold in their simulated environment. Because the blessings of the Supreme God are yea and amen. Thank you for trusting the Alchemist oil. So for those of you who are bougie, like, I ain't a looker backer, I probably never see that. Yeah, you will to it. You're going to see it in a different way, though. You're going to see it level 2 of this larva if you take the Alchemist oil. Because I don't care if you have a bidet, I don't care if you have a wet wipe. You're going to see it after you do that last pass, checking for skid marks. That's when you'll see it. And you could very well see your little eggs right there that came out you. You could very well see your adult parasites, your worms, your flukes, or whatever right there in your face. There you go. You right there. You could also very well see it or know that larva smell just by being in that bathroom, because it's going to stink. You can't, even if you're not a looker backer, it's going to be funky. The larva smell, the consistency of this larva coming out that stage, it stinks. And you are in a toilet room and you're going to have to breathe. So it doesn't matter if you're a looker backer. It doesn't matter if you're bougie and you don't want to look back. You just wipe and flush and get up out of there. You're not exempt. And it is very, very important that you decrease this here load so you don't be walking around in a physical reality full of shh. All right? Last but not least, once you get some of that waste up out of you, this here is the Wow Yam Butter created by yours truly, Goddess Just Be. Now this one here, this is the consistency of this one here. This one here, this is for my reefer smokers. This is for my reefer smokers who will be trying to regulate that nervous system, who have insomnia maybe and anxiety and always wishing somebody would, because you know what they're doing? They're trying to go higher, and then their regular is right here, and that first high was so good and they try to get back to it, but they only could get right here. They never really get back up there. So they're chasing that high. They're chasing it. They don't like being here because they're bloated. They're trying to chase it, but they'll never get it. They're chasing it, never get it. They're chasing it, never get it. Well, guess what? The reason why they started trying to get on high is because their balance of hormones were whacked up, and because their nervous system need a little bit of regulation. This is why they use this one. This is why they love this one because it helps to wean them off of the reefer. It also helps for them to carry eggs to bed. It helps to relax them. It helps to soothe them. It helps to regulate hormones. It's a good moisturizer too, but you only need, excuse me, on this one here. Wait, let me pin this one on the screen right quick while I'm talking about it. On this one here, you only need a fingertip amount. A fingertip amount of this one here before bed is highly beneficial, and it'll help you wean off regular smokes or the reefer smokes. It'll help you with anxiety, insomnia, depression, just wanting to rest and regulation of your nervous system. So this is highly beneficial for those things, even for ringing in the ear. The thing about it is men only need a fingertip amount once a day. For women, the directions twice a day. And men or women both can skip 1 week because it is regulating hormones and balancing the person. Everyone in the physical reality has a connection with hormones because there's a moon in this realm. The moon represents feminine energy, and everybody underneath that moon is governed by it. So men and both women have hormonal issues. Men have periods. They just don't bleed. I know that might maybe insult some raw type men, but you got a period. I ain't saying you bleed though, but you got a period. And you have a period because you're governed underneath the moon cycle, which is feminine energy. And men, you too have a feminine principle. In this realm, there's two sides of all things. There must be male and there must be female principles. There's a law in this land called the law. Oh, hey, Keith, I didn't even know you was there. There's a law in this land called the law of gender, saying there must be male and there must be female principles. I ain't saying you soft. I'm just saying your ass got a period. So nonetheless, that's all that I have for y'all today. I just wanted to come on real quick and talk about the Alchemist, why I created it, where I was in my life when I created it. Oh my God. And that trip down memory lane was so interesting because my eyes started sweating. Any questions? Thank you for trusting the Alchemist. I appreciate every last one of you who listen. Hey, Smiley. I see you, babe. Any questions? Y'all just liking and just listening and just paying attention today, huh? How do you say that? Koi? Is it Koi? That's interesting. Kwoi? Koi, I'm thinking. Okay. That's an interesting name. I like that. Hello, Marsha. Thank you, Michael. Every last one of you. I'm going back up to see if I missed a question. Oh, I see. I see when you came, Keith. Good evening to you too, babe. Any questions before I get up out of here? So I have this linked. The Alchemist oil. You can get the Alchemist oil by itself before I get up out of here. But you do need a carrier oil. Just to let you know, castor oil is not highly beneficial for all blood types. That's why I created the bundle. So you can get the bundle and you'll have your carrier oil that's beneficial for all blood types. If you need any of the weight loss cheat codes or meal plans, sustain detox, any of my courses, the Woke is F Blood Type Connection course that teach you about your blood types, your trauma, your SEX drive, your compatible partners, all of this ain't nothing new under the sun. Your best jobs, your strengths and weaknesses, so to speak, or I don't want to say weaknesses, just stuff you need to work upon based upon blood type. I have all of that and more there. I've also created a restoration bundle. It's linked below. That way you can get the Alchemist oil bundle and get the wild yam butter. So you can get all three of this here in the restoration bundle. And so by getting this here, you can remove the toxins in your body and detox your body with the Alchemist oil bundle, but at the same time, regulate those hormones and that nervous system because it all go hand in hand. All right. Thank you for the lightning bolt. I appreciate you. Hey, Smiley. Thank you for the heart. Thank y'all for listening and being here. I appreciate every last one of y'all. Y'all have any questions? Y'all want to hear about any parts of the body? Y'all want to hear any parts of consciousness? What do y'all want to hear more of on my upcoming lives? I want to incorporate my products, but I also want to talk about consciousness a little bit too here in order for people to really remember themselves and know themselves. Anybody have any suggestions before I get up out of here for tomorrow's live? Hey Mary, thank you for passing through. Anybody have anything? I'm gonna wait 10 seconds. If you could type up in a comment, and I'll see it for tomorrow. If not, I'll just think about what I'm gonna talk about tomorrow. But these videos go to the red triangle place when I upload them. So you might could ask now if you have a question, if you have a certain element, so to speak, ringing in the ears. What about ringing in the ears? The side effects of, I'm just going off the dome. The side effects of awakening, self-concept, intuition. What about intuition? That's a good one. How do you fine tune your intuition, or what? What about it? Tell me more. And that's gonna be the topic tomorrow around this time. What is it? Somali says intuition. What about intuition? I need to know more. Like, how do you kind of like fine tune it? How do you trust it? How to know it's intuition, and if it's not. Ooh, I like that. I got a good answer for that off the dome. How do you know when it's intuition and when it's not? Okay, good stuff. That's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. Intuition. Be here tomorrow around the same time, Smiley, and you about to get your answer. And if you happen to miss it, you can go up here and find my red triangle place, and that's where I'm going to be uploading that video. That's going to be really, really good, because as an introverted person, introverted people are really intuitive. And so the things that I'm going to present to you tomorrow, the many things I'm going to present to you tomorrow, is going to be so helpful, because it's a norm for us to be intuitive, because we always in here. And so we think that all of the other people, not thinking outside of the box sometimes, knowing that we live in an extroverted world, we think that those people doing that too. But then we grow up and realize, wait, hold up. Y'all don't go in? So yeah, tomorrow I will. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about intuition and how to know it's intuition and when it's not. This message was brought to you by Goddess Just Be and her creation, Wild Yum Butter and the Alchemist, or pure alchemy in a bottle, just like you and that matrix. Join us tomorrow. I hope you be here tomorrow, Smiley. Y'all have a good night. Okay, bye.